welcome back to our part 3 of social media app with FastAPI, where we are developing the full backend of it. So we're already done with the auth part of the user and the post. We have done this post module as well. Now we are left with activity and profile. We'll try to wrap this up in this video. So first of all, for activity, we'll make some changes to our auth model. Uh, we'll add something like the user can follow the other user. So we'll go to our models and we'll create one more class here of the follow. And now what we can do, table name is going to be follows, and then we'll have one follower ID, the user who is following. This is going to be integer, and this is going to be a foreign key. Okay, we don't have a foreign key here. This is a foreign key, and this is to our users.id, and we'll set it to primary key. Yeah, and we'll have one more following ID to whom he's following. This will be integer, that is again a foreign key to same users.id. And this we can also set this as primary key. Yeah, in this case we can set two primary keys. That won't cause an issue to us. Now we'll need to form some relation, right? So follower is going to be a relationship, and now this is a relationship, and now what we'll have in this is user. It's going to be with our user table, and then we'll have foreign keys, which is our follower ID. Now this is again one more way how you can define our many-to-many relation. Like I have shown you one way, which was like creating an association table like that. Now this is another way. For this also we can create association table that won't cause us any issue as such. But I just wanted to show you one more way. Yeah, right. So if you like the other one, you can follow that. Yeah, that won't be any issue. Yeah, and back populates is gonna be followers, right? So followers need to be created here. And same for following, we'll have one relationship, same to user. Foreign keys is gonna be following ID, and this is gonna be back populates following, right? Like that. And so now we need to define our followers and following here as well. So we'll define our followers first, and which is going to be a relationship to our follow table, and we'll have foreign keys to it. And now foreign keys here, it would be follow dot following ID, right? Follow dot following ID, because see, if for a user you want to find out who are his followers, then the ones who are following, so we need to have following ID here, right? And we'll have back populates here, which is going to be our following. Now you see, so see the following here, and we have got it here, right? So the followers of this user are the ones who are following him here, right? And similar way, we'll have the following. We can just copy it just to save our time, and yeah, like that. Now following will be, now see, following the same table follow will be there. Now following whom he is following will be follow dot follower ID, right? And the back populates is gonna be our follower, like that. So if you closely observe, the followers of these users are the ones who are following him or the following, right? And the one who he is following are the ones who are being followed by him or are the follower of him, right? Like that. So this might seem confusing at first, but it's like followers will take following, following will take followers, like that. So we need not worry about that so much. You just take one example, like followers will be the one who are following him, So we have done this, and now the following would be the reverse of it, right? Okay, and so now we'll move to our, this is a follow followers activity, and now we'll move to our activity because now we need to create one activity for it, right? Um, and also we need to define one route in our users only, and maybe a service as well to follow some user, right? Because see, it might be possible that we can create it in our activity as well, but instead of activity, I would like that if we can have it in our auth only. Okay, so before that, let's just make our activity, then we'll come back to auth. So in activity, we'll have an init.py like that, and we'll have one models.py, and then we'll have one schemas.py, and then we'll have one service.py, and then we'll have one views.py like that. So we'll start with the, I'll just close all for now, and we'll start with the model first of all. So from SQL alchemy, import column, integer, and a string, and a datetime like that. And we'll have one datetime like that. And from database, we need to get DB, right? And then we'll have one class activity, which will inherit from base. Table name is gonna be our activities like that, right? And now we'll have an ID, which is column integer, and inside that, this is our primary key as well. And then we'll have one username of the current user for whom this activity is string, and this can't be null, right? Like that, which is the, or you can say activity receiver, right? Who is receiving this activity, and then we can have one timestamp that what time this activity is made, which is going to be date time, and this also will make null label equal to false, and we can set default as our datetime dot utc now, like that. And now see this activity. Okay, I've got this wrong. Yeah. See this activity, we can have two separate activities, one for if someone has liked your post and one for separate for if someone follows you, right? But I'll have just one activity and put both in that, right? So liked post ID, okay, if someone has liked my post, so then this will take the ID of that post and who liked it, username like, right? And then if someone followed me, then followed username is gonna be like that. And also if you would have seen Instagram, when there was previous time, there was used to be some activity like someone liked your post and it also used to show you the post. So we'll store also the liked post image in that, right? And then followed username, who is following you. This would be user who followed the receiver like that. And followed user pic also will store. Yeah, because it used to show, okay, that this user followed you and his pic used to come. And we can update it anytime later. Yeah, like that. Okay, and now we'll move to our schemas for it. Okay, uh, from Pydantic import base model, and from datetime import datetime. Now we'll have one class activity base, which is our base model, and this is gonna take our username, the user's username, and the timestamp is gonna be date time. And what else can we have? One, yeah, we can now we can separate the like activity and the following activity, right? Like activity create, and this is gonna be from my activity base only. And in that case, I'll just remove the date timestamp from here, and we'll have just like post ID, which is gonna be int, and we'll have one username like, which is gonna be string, and what else followed follow activity. Yeah, we can name it follow activity create, which is gonna have activity base, the username, and then it will have followed username. Was it followed username? I've kept it. Yeah, who is following you? Yeah, this following seems confusing. Yeah, and this will have class activity. Activity will be activity base, and this will have now timestamp when this activity was created. And what else do we need? I guess this is, I guess I'll just have this. Yeah, class config ORM mode equal true. Yeah, we can define one separate for uh, to view this. Like I've created this activity, I can create one like activity and follow activity as well. But I'll just skip it for now. Yeah, if we need it, we'll see it then and there. Yeah. Now we'll come to our service, and in service we'll see if we can get the activities by username. Right. From SQL alchemy.orm import session, and from dot models we'll import our activity. Now get that activity of a user by username. So what we'll do is async def get activities by username, and we'll have db session in it, and we'll have one username, and we can implement pagination. Yeah, and limit is going to be, again we'll take it 10 like that. And what else do we need? I guess this is it, and this will return activity. But okay, I guess this is fine. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. See here, I'm not returning the schema, but instead of that, I'm just returning the model. Right. So we'll see why this is required here. I just don't want to make separate follow activity like activity. I'll just have one, so I'm just returning the activity model only itself instead of the schema. Okay, so we'll calculate the offset. Offset is going to be page -1 into our limit, right? I've already showed you how this comes out, and then I'll just return activities db.query.activity, and then we'll have filter activity dot username is going to be equal to this username, and then we'll have order by. Order by will take our activity. We can use DESC or we can use this. Here we can put DESC and like that, and we can have offset, which is going to be offset, and then we can have limit, which is going to be limit, and then we'll return all like that. Simple. Yeah, so we have got this. Now we'll create our view. I just wanted to finish up this activity part first. Yeah, so we'll come to from FastAPI import API router, and we'll come to depends, and we'll come to status, and what else? We need session, import session, and from database we'll need getDB, and we need to import our service which we created, and this will have get activities by username, right? And now we'll create our router. Router is going to be API router, and prefix is going to be slash activity, and tags is going to take activity like that. So this will just have one route, just to get the activity of the user by username like that. Or you can directly have user name instead of having user, but this is fine for me. Yeah, and async def activity, and we'll have username as a path param, and we'll take page. Page is gonna be a query parameter. Okay, we'll just have it 1, and limit I'm just gonna skip for now. Limit, I'll just define it as 10. Yeah, and okay, but fine, we'll have limit as well. Limit, and it's gonna be 10, and db session is gonna depend on our getDB. Now we'll just return await and get activities by username. This is gonna take db username, page, and limit like that. Yeah. So we're pretty much done with our activity, but we won't be able to test it. Yeah, we won't be able to test it out for now because we still haven't implemented how we follow someone, right? and we'll put that in profile instead of auth. Yeah. And there's one more thing. When we like a post, we need to create an activity of it, right? We have created one in our service. If you remember, we have created our service of when we like a post. I'll just search for it. Okay. Have we not created it? Okay, this is an auth. I'm really sorry. Yeah. Yeah, this is the like. Now we also need to create an activity for it. Yeah, right. Whenever someone is liking our post, then an activity should be created for it. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll import activity from activity dot models import activity, and we'll come to like, and yeah. Okay, we have already set activity, and so what we'll do, like activity, and this is gonna be an activity, and this will take our username, which is our username. Okay, username is the one. See, who should receive this activity? This is the username who is liking this post. So the activity should, the receiver should be the post author, right? So the post dot author dot username, like that we can use. And then I'll just put it in separate lines. And what else? Timestamp will be auto-generated. We need not worry about that. Then liked post, who likes liked post ID. This is post ID. And then username like, who liked it, which is our username in this case, right? And what else? Liked post pic. Yeah. And this would be from our post.image. Or was it liked post image? Yeah, it was liked post image. And that was liked post ID, like that. And we'll just add it, db.add, and like activity. This way we have created this activity for our user, right? And if you want, like when someone unlikes, you can delete that activity, but in actual scenario, that activity should be there because once the user is liked, activity is created. Yeah, we need not remove it. So when we come to profile, we'll just create our init.py, and we'll create our models.py, though we don't need any models in this. We come to schemas.py, service.py, and we come to views.py, like that. So models as such, we won't be creating any, but schemas we'll need. So we'll come to schemas, I'll close all, I'll come to the schemas part here, and from Pydantic, we'll import base model, and from typing, I'll import optional, I'll need it. Right, and yeah, so we'll create one class profile for user, though we have created in auth also we have this user. This was also fine, like you should have created added the fields here only, but just to show you an example, I'm just separating it out. Yeah, right. And so what we can do is maybe we'll just try to see if we can extend this only, this user base. I guess we can use this user base only, and that way we'll be able to extend it. So what I'll do, I'll just from auth schemas import user base, and instead of this, I'll just put in user base. Now, what else do I need? I just need followers count here, followers count, which is going to be optional int and 0 as default, and following count in it, which is going to be optional int and 0. Just for these followers and following, I just separated out the profile part. Otherwise, this would have been same. Yeah. And we'll just define class config orm mod equal to true. Yeah, because we'll be converting it from a database object. So it's better to have one. Yeah, right. And what else do we need? We'll have one class following list. following list will be having following. And okay, the following list, I don't want to show everything in the following list, like this whole profile, which will consist of this username, email, gender, and everything. I'll create one more. So this will be user schema and base model. So I'll just want to show his profile pic, which is again optional, and it's gonna be none. And what else should I show? His username I should show. That is compulsory, and name again optional. And class config ORM mod equal to true. Yeah. So in this following, I'll just show it as a optional and then list of user schema like that. Yeah, this would look nice. And which is going to be empty as default. And for followers list is going to be same. And this is a base model. Yeah. And followers is going to be again optional list. And this is user schema. Yeah, like that. So we are done with the schemas. We can come to the service part. Yeah, we should write some service functions of the follow and unfollow and get followers and get following like that. Yeah. Okay. So we'll just come from FastAPI. We'll import status HTTP exception. We don't need, so we'll just import from SQL Alchemy. We'll import session. Yeah, that's it. And I guess we'll just need this. I don't think we'll be requiring anything else. Yeah, right. Yeah, but I'll need from auth dot models. I'll need import user and I'll also need follow. Yeah, I'll also need follow because I need to create this follow activity, right? And activity also I'll be creating from activity dot models import activity because I'll be creating activity. And from dot schemas I'll be importing follower list and following list like that, and maybe profile as well. And I'll need from auth dot service I'll import get current user, and I'll get the get user from, okay, this is from user ID existing user. This will give me from username as well. Okay. So first of all, what we'll do, we'll create one follow activity. Is saying def follow SVC, and this is gonna take DB session, and this is gonna take one follower, which is gonna be a, okay. One thing is I can take it as a username str and following also as str. Now, see what I can do is I can find out the follower and following, and I can find their usernames. I mean, I can find the whole user by this. Okay, so what I'll do is DB follower is gonna be my existing user and DB, and the username is gonna be follower like that, and DB following is gonna be existing user DB following. Now I've got these users, and if one of the above is not there or not DB following, I'll just return false. We couldn't follow him, right? So now we'll just create one follow object that there has been an entry of the follow. See, one thing is that we can directly append to the user.following and similar way. Now this is another way that I'm showing you how you can do it, right? One thing is that you can directly do db follower dot followers dot append like that, but I'll be showing you a different way here. So what we'll do is we'll just do db follow and we'll create an object of this, right? And inside this or before creating an object, we'll just see if the user is already following. Yeah, this is required. So what I'll do is first I'll find out if the user is already following or not. db.query follow, and we'll just filter. We'll use filter by. When we are using filter by, no need to give table name. We can just do follower ID is gonna be our db follower, and dot ID, and following ID is going to be db following dot ID, like that, dot first if db follow, and then we can return just false. Yeah, I'm not gonna put in any details. You can do that. Yeah, right. And so what we'll do, or we can even raise exception from it, but I don't usually like to raise exception from service. I just like to raise the exception from views file, right? From where I define my APIs. So what I'll do is I'll now create a follow object, and this will take my follower ID. Follower ID is gonna come from db follower dot ID, and then following ID, which is gonna come from db following dot ID, like that. And I'll just add it to my db like that. And what we'll do is we have created one count also, or have we not? I'll just check this out. Okay, we haven't created any count of as such. Okay, but we have created here. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll just create these in our model, and this will have our following count, which is going to be a column integer, and default is going to be 0, and following count, which is going to be integer, and default is going to be 0 again, like that. Now we'll just increase it, right? So follower has got one following added, so following and count is going to increase by 1, and following has got one followers follower count plus equal to 1, like that, right? Now we'll define our activity. Now activity is going to take our username. So this activity, who should be notified? The following should be notified, right? So the username is following only, right? And who, what else should be there? Timestamp is already added. Followed username. So who is following now? So we'll add our follower dot username. And now we'll add a spec, followed user pic, and his pic we'll get from our db follower dot image, or that was profile pic. Okay, yeah, we have added it, and we'll just add it to our db follow activity, and we'll just do db.commit at the end. So this was our one follow activity. Now we'll have one unfollow activity. Yeah, that would make sense to us. Is saying df and unfollow svc, which is going to take db session, and same as this, follower string following string, like that. Uh, so we're going to do the same thing in it, right? So what we'll do, I'll just copy it for now, and I'll show you how we are working on it, right? First of all, we'll get our DB follower, then we'll get our DB following. The user, if they don't exist, will return false. And then we'll see if an already entry is, if there is not an entry, how can we unfollow, right? And so this will not create because it's already there. This will decrease for both, and we'll do db.delete db follow. Yeah, it's up to you. Yeah, this we need to delete, and the activity need not be there, and you need not delete the activity, like that. So this is it for our unfollow. Now we'll create a service for our get followers. Get followers, and he's saying def get followers service, and this is going to take db session, and this is going to take a user ID for this user ID, and this is going to take skip in 0, and this is going to take limit in 0, like that, right? So what we'll do is we'll find the user first with the user ID. Get current user. Okay, I'll just import get user from user ID. And this is gonna be await. And of God, I forgot await. Both are await and await. This is also await, right? And await and get user from user ID and DB and user ID. And if not DB user, we can just raise an exception to it, or I'll just return this, right? Or I'll return some message. That is also fine. Now we'll get the followers of him and the followers. How will I get it? db.query follow. Now I'll query over this follow table. See, one thing is I can get it via user dot followers like that. That is also fine. I'll just show you another way how you can do it via this follow table. And then we'll just do filter by, and filter by the following ID should be equal to our user ID, because see, following ID, that means the users who are following it, then only we'll get our followers, right? So this way, and then what we need to do is we'll join it with user, right? And we'll do user ID should be equal to our user dot ID should be equal to our follow dot it should be our follower ID, because we want who is following him, right? Follower ID like that. And then we'll set some offset, and offset will be skip, and offset we also need to create, but I don't think we'll need offset. I'll just remove it for now. You can add the pagination if you need. I'll just remove it. I don't feel a use of it right now, and all like that, right? So now what I'll do is I'll just create a followers uh, list, and now I'll add every follower to it. For follower in followers, and not in followers, instead db followers. And now what I'll do is followers dot append, and I'll append to it one dict, and dict will have my profile pic, and profile pic which is gonna be our follower dot profile pic. Now see, this follower is a user, and inside the user, if you see, will come to auth. Yeah, so this is a user. Inside this user, this is a follower. One second, I guess we missed something. Okay, yeah, so we were all wrong in it. Yeah, we are actually getting an entry of it along with this. So this uh, follower is this one, right? So this refers to a user. Now this refers to, you can say, for users, this would be better like that, right? Now this follower refers to this one, right? And we'll get his profile pic, and then we'll get his name, and name would come from our again user dot this would be user, not users, and user dot follower dot name, and we'll get his username as well, which is gonna be user dot follower dot username. Yeah, pretty much nice. And now we have created a pydantic model for it, if you remember. So I'll just return followers list, and this would take in followers equal to our followers, or directly followers like that. This refers to this, and this are the things. Even if I would have directly returned, this would have worked fine. I guess I'll just what I'll do, I'll just do it like that, and I'll just return db followers, and I'll just put it that this is returning a list of followers list like that. And similar to this, we'll be creating get following, right? I'll just copy it. Yeah. Okay. Get following like that, and get following as we see the users to whom he's following. This is going to be following list, and which is almost same as that. And yes, so db.query follow. Now the following should be converted to follower, because now he is following someone, right? And this is following ID like that. So this is how this should work. Yeah, so follower ID and following ID, I guess that's it. This pretty much should solve our case. And we'll just go and we can create one async def check follow service if someone already follows. Yeah, like that. So this will take DB session and this will take one current user, which is a string, and a user whom should we check, right? And DB following is DB dot query and follow and dot filter by, and we'll just check follower ID if follower ID should be our current user, right? Okay, so we'll need to get the user again here. So what we'll do like that, right? Okay, and so DB follower should be our current user, and this should be our user whom we want to follow, right? So we'll check if we are already following. So we'll just have DB follower dot ID and following ID should be our DB following dot ID like that. And we'll just check in first. And if DB following, then he's following already. So we'll return true, else we'll just return false like that. Yeah, so this seems nice. And what we'll do, we'll just create our routes for it. I think that's the only thing left now with us to get the profile of a user and to follow and unfollow a user and to get followers and get following like that. So from FastAPI, I'll just import our API router and I'll also import status, depends, and some exception, and that's it. And from SQL alchemy.orm, I'll just import our session, and from database, I'll import getDB like that. And from schemas, I'll import our profile and followers list and following list. Yeah. And from service, I'll import our get followers SVC, get following SVC, and follow SVC and unfollow SVC. I guess that's pretty much. And maybe check follow SVC. And we'll create a router, which is going to be an API router, and prefix is going to be profile, and tags is going to be profile again, and router dot we'll have one get profile of user, right? So we'll have user and username like that, and response model is going to be profile, simple. And async def get profile, or directly I can have profile here, and username gonna take from user path param, and db is gonna be a session, get db, and yeah. So first we'll get the user, and I guess get user from user ID or existing user. Yeah, so I'll just check if there is an existing user with it. DB user exist await existing user, and DB username, and email I'll just left it as blank. If not DB user, I'll just raise an exception of not found. I'll put in some detail. Uh, Invalid username like that. Yeah, this seems nice. So what I'll do, I'll just do profile dot from ORM, and I'll just put in user or DB user, or even if I just return the user, that is also fine. I'm just showing you different ways how we can deal with it. And now I'll just follow one user at router dot post, and we'll do follow, and we'll get the username whom I want to follow, right? And this okay, and async df, and this should be no content. It should not send any content. Yeah, right. So status code should be status dot http 204 no content like that, right? anything def follow, username, str, token, string. Okay, now this is interesting. We are taking token as our query param and the username to whom we wanna follow, like that. DB session and depends and get DB, like that. So what we'll do is uh, I'll just use our follow service directly, right? And I'll just do result, and this will be await follow service, and this follow service is taking DB and follower. Who is the follower here? Follower here would be our current user. So first I'll get the user from the token, and this would require me to from auth service import get current user. Okay, and first I'll get the current user and get current user and await db token. If not db user, raise http exception, and status is going to be status dot not found, obviously, and detail is going to be invalid, I should say invalid token, right? And I'll also okay, that part will be done here. DB, I'll just put in DB user dot username, and I'll put in the username of the user whom I want to follow, like that. Now you see this follow SVC, what this is doing is gonna return me false also. So you can just separate out these instances as well. You can return some message already followed, like that. I'm not gonna do it right now. Okay, and so I'll just check in if res if the result is false, or if not res, that you can also do. I'll raise some HTTP exception, status code, status dot some, maybe I'll raise conflict, or yeah, detail could not follow. Now you can make several instances why he couldn't follow, right? So now similar way, we'll create one for the unfollow. I guess I can just take it as it is, and we'll just put unfollow like that. And this is gonna be our no content username. This seems fine. We just do unfollow SVC, like that, right? And after unfollow is done, we'll move on to our get followers, right? Followers, and we'll take token from user, and response model is gonna be followers list, and get followers, and this is gonna get token string db session depends get db, like that. And I'll just get token from current user, get current user, and this is gonna await, and I'll do db and token, and if not current user, I'll just raise this exception, though we can also unauthorized would be better here. Yeah, like that, and return await, and we'll do get followers SVC. This is gonna take DB, and this is gonna take current user dot ID, like that. And similar way we can get our following, like following, and following will be exactly similar to this. This is following, though these models are both same. Just to separate it out, we are keeping it like that. Get following SVC, like that. So we are done with our views as well. And what we'll do, we'll import these routers here now. From dot activity dot views, import router as activity router. From dot profile dot views, import router as profile router, and we'll just add it here. Router dot include router dot include profile router. Now see, we need to delete the database every time when we create some changes. Now for that, FastAPI doesn't provide any database migration tool. We can use Alembic. I'll make a video on that. Right now, I'll just delete it and I'll just start my app. Okay, we have got some error here. We'll just check it out. Okay, what's the issue? The issue is the special form object does not support item assignment. Why is it that? Or should I do it none? Should I do it none? It throws me up some error in my profile. Let me just see that real quick. Okay. Hmm. Class followers list, which is a base model optional, and now this is a list of the user schemas, and this shows type error, special form object does not support. We'll just check it out online once. I'm not sure why this error is coming up. um, okay, is it like that? If I'll use the type list from the typing, oh yeah, right. No, it still doesn't work like that. I'll just take it like that. Okay, for some reason, for the ORM mode objects, it was not letting me create a list. So with some default or as optional. So I just did this. I just removed the optional, and I'll just give it some like that. I'll just try once more. Okay, now it works. And we'll just go to our docs, and I was checking this issue, and okay, we have got everything listed out here. We'll just sign up two users, Mohan, and password is Mohan. Good. Mohan is created, and now we'll create Rohan and Rohan and Rohan. Username or okay, email is already in use. String 2, and now Rohan is created. Now we'll create some post via Rohan's token, and we have already checked these APIs post also, but we'll need to create a post. So I'll put in token and string. I'll just give new post hashtag new, and I'll just create one post, and I'll create one more post hashtag second. I've created two posts of Rohan. Okay, and now we've already checked the like activity as well, but still what I'll do, okay, I'll take out the token of Mohan, right? I'll just save this token here of Rohan, and for Mohan I'll generate token, and like that. Now what I'll do, I'll just like one post. Okay, this will just require me to use my username Mohan likes it. Okay, nice, liked, and okay, I'll put in one. Okay, so Mohan likes this post. Nice, so this so far is working fine, and we'll check activities for our username of Rohan. Now you see Rohan has got one activity as Mohan liked this post. I'll create one more activity. Suppose Mohan likes the other post as well. And now just check this out. Okay, we've got two activities. Okay, nice. Now what I'll do is follow. Okay, follow, and suppose this user. Okay, this is for profile. I'll just put in Rohan. Internal server error. Okay. Where is this issue coming from? I'll just return profile. Hmm. I'll just return DB user. I thought it would cause some error. Yeah, like that. See, we've got followers count, following count, like that. So we've got the profile, and now I'll follow. So who is following? I've got the token of Mohan. So now Mohan is following Rohan. Again, we've got some error. We'll just debug it real quick, and str object has no. Okay, let's just check that out. Follower, from where we're getting the follower. Follower is a, oh god, I've done it wrong. Follower, it should be db follower, and it should be db following, and the same needs to be done here. db and db, like that. So we'll just do it. Again, we've got some issue over here on service. What is the issue? User object has no attribute follower count. Okay, let's go to our user object. Have we got here? Here it is. Followers count and following count. Okay, and what are we doing? It is followers count. Okay, this, and same is gonna be here, followers count, like that. Again, we have got issue, and username is okay. This is spelling mistake. Sorry. I hope it works this time. We've again got some mistake. And what is the mistake now? str object has no attribute username. Okay, this has to be db follower, right? Okay, these are some silly mistakes. I'm really sorry for it. Okay, now he's finally able to follow it. And now we'll check the profile. See, followers count is 1 because Mohan is following him. And we'll get the following for our current user. You see, okay, internal server error. Where is it? We'll debug it real quick. Okay, this doesn't show us. Let us check. We are in the get followers. Okay, we'll go to our view, and that's how we can just debug it. Get followers and get current user, get following service, and get user from user ID. Okay, and what is the issue here? Okay, this is not able to convert it to like that. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just, yeah, I think this is the issue here. I'll just copy it. Yeah, yeah, like that. I guess this would work fine. Following list, and this is all gonna be following, and this is gonna be db. Okay, I'll just keep the same name, following, and profile pic, yeah, like that, and following. I'll just check this out if it works fine. Okay, we still got the error, and what is it? 112, and following in it takes one positional argument, but two were given. Why is it like that? Following list just takes one, and I did not give two. Yeah, and following list has got following list has following, right? Following equal to following, which is a list, of course. Yeah, works fine. So the issue here, this is not able to convert it to list because I am using this query. I most probably feel because I'm doing query. If I would have directly used that user.followers or user.following, I guess this would have worked fine. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll just check for the followers of this token. I'll paste one. Okay, I've not got the token. I'll just copy his token and I'll see for okay, again we have got some internal server error. Yeah, we'll need to uncomment it, and we'll remove this like that. Okay, we've got some error, and I guess following equal to following, and here it was followers equal to followers. It's not able to take it. Yeah, so you see this token was of Rohan. Now Rohan has got a follower, which is Mohan, like that. And we'll also see the activity of Rohan. And we have got one more activity, which is of the, yeah, like that. You see, this activity was for the like post, like that, you see. And this activity was for the following. You see, username Rohan, because Rohan is now following him. So we have got this username, and followed username is Mohan, like that. So how you can segregate between that? These see, the segregation is gonna be, if you have got the followed username, that means Mohan is following you. This is a follow activity. If this is null, then it is a like activity. Mohan is liking your post. Mohan is liking your post, like that. And what I'll do, I'll just unfollow someone, and username, I just put token of, I'm not sure if I'm already following Mohan. Could not follow because he is not already following. Okay, so I'll just generate token for Mohan. For Mohan I have generated, and Mohan is already following Rohan. And yeah, now it's done. Now we'll check the profile of Rohan. You see the followers count is again 0, and we can get followers of him. Now it's empty, and of, yeah, empty again. Yeah, so I guess this is pretty much how it works. We got some issues, yeah, in between, some issues specially related to this, but these were some minor issues only. We need not worry about that. Yeah, and I've also showed you how you can debug in case you have got some issue. And maybe if you want me to host this, I can host it on render in our next part. So just let me know. Thank you.